Iran is booted from U.N.'s Commission on the Status of Women.
Here's a summary of the article.
United Nations. The U.N.'s Economic and Social Council voted Wednesday to boot Iran from the Preeminent Women's Forum, the 45-nation Commission on the Status of Women, a part of ECOSOC. The vote on the U.S. drafted resolution was 29-8, with 13 abstentions. The push to remove Iran was initiated by the U.S. in November, after protests erupted across Iran following the death of 22-year-old Mahsa Amini in the custody of the morality police. Protesters chanting the rallying cry, "Woman, Life, Freedom," filled the streets in the most public challenge to the regime in years. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Linda Thomas-Greenfield told Council members that Iran should be removed because the Commission is the premier UN body for promoting gender equality and empowering women. It cannot do its important work if it is being undermined from within. During the debate, Russia's Deputy Permanent Representative Gennady Kuzmin requested an opinion of the UN's Legal Council on the removal of Iran from the Commission. In recent weeks, Iran has tightened its oppression of women and girls. Its actions are inconsistent with the objectives of the Commission and are incompatible with membership, Woodward said. Thomas Greenfield implored nations to oust Iran. "I urge you to keep this simple. Let's vote to remove Iran from the Commission on the Status of Women. Let's do this for women, for life, and for freedom." News. UN member states just voted to remove Iran from the Commission on the Status of Women.
This post received a score of 10,000, with an upvote ratio of 98%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Why were they still even in there for? They should have gotten kicked out long ago.
UN likes to give out seats on councils shitty countries don't belong on as an attempt to encourage the country to do better. It's dumb and ineffective, but there is at least a logic behind it.
It's not even the UN that appoints countries to these councils. It's other member states that vote them in. Using the engagement and dialogue logic as you mentioned. It's tedious when folks blame the UN for doing exactly what it is supposed to do. Believe or not, China and Russia voted no.
Shocker? Now kicks Saudi Arabia off the UNHCR's women's rights oversight.
Good. Now do Russia from the Security Council.
That wouldn't be possible because Russia could veto their own removal.
Change the rules on them. If it's between arbitrary human-made rules and a terrorist state enabling themselves to continue to rain terror on the free world, I choose to change the rules on them. It's not as if Russia wouldn't jump at the opportunity to change the rules in exactly that manner if the tables were turned and they had the support. Edit. The crazy thing about most of the responses that are countering my point is that they're missing my point by such a large margin that I would actually agree with them if I was actually making the point they think they're making.
You can't change the rules because any rule change will get vetoed.
China, Russia, Pakistan, Venezuela and other nations spoke against the removal of Iran from the Commission. At this point, can we just lump them all into one? Axis? Title. Axis of evil is taken maybe. How about axis of assholes?
And all it took was murdering and maiming dozens if not hundreds of women and start executing 15,000 protesters. Yay UN, good job, though I suppose better late than never.
Here is how the votes went. Interestingly, India and Indonesia abstained and Russia and China were against it.
Why? Iran is doing the exact same thing it did when it was put on the commission.
The only difference is the mass protests.
Always fun to see which countries are members in each of the UN groups. The Human Rights Council is a funny one too. China, Russia, UAE, Qatar, real defenders of the human rights in the world.
They know better than anyone, Abby. Always blame Israel. I remember when there was outrage that they were even asked to join.
Who the hell put M on it in the first place?
How many women on this commission?
Shocked Pikachu, JPEG.
I want to say this is wonderful news, but the truth is they should never have been on it.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.